Hey, it's Jim Craddock here. It is Saturday, May 18th, 2024. And I kind of expect this to be my last post. Uh, I know I've said that before. Hold on here. So just as an update, there's a couple things I want to talk about, I guess. Uh, a week ago Friday, I had an appointment with my primary care guy, and he had x-rays done. I think I talked about that last weekend. And anyway, you know, on Monday I talked to him and I said, look, this x-ray says, that there's a large colonic load, which didn't make sense because I'd had two BMs that morning before, really three, before the appointment. And he's like, well, it's hard to mistake that. So, I don't know. And I was like, could there be any other explanation? And he didn't seem to think so. So anyway, he had ordered uh, a what do you call them? Sonogram of my abdomen, and not a sonogram. I'm using the wrong word. He had ordered an ultrasound, sorry, of my abdomen, and so they called to schedule that like on the Tuesday, and they offered to set it up for this Monday. And I said no. And here's my reasoning. My son graduates high school this week. I mean, if there's one week in my life where I don't want it to be about me, this would be it, other than maybe getting married. So anyway, it should be about my son, and I didn't want anything to interfere with that. So I had it scheduled for Friday. His graduation is Wednesday, but he's having a party on Saturday. I don't know if I'm going to keep the appointment on Friday or not. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards going ahead and keeping it there. As far as like, how I feel, uh, I, you know, uh, I right this moment, I feel pretty normal. Uh, you know, when I wake up in the morning, I still have muscle aches that are, not normal muscle aches in my shoulders and arms. If I do something super strenuous in my arms, they definitely instantly tell me, hey, I'm not in a normal condition. And things aren't moving like they should, and I don't know. I told my doc, I'm like, I know how this ends, and basically your pulse stop. And he's like, well, we've got the ultrasound ordered, and we'll see if there's any structural issues. And I don't think there's anything that anybody could do for me, or I'm just trying to document. And that's what I told him. I'm like, look, I'm not willing to have any type of electrolytes. I'm not really to drink all that stuff, to have, a colonoscopy. I'm not willing to give huge samples of blood. And in fact, he ordered some blood tests, and I'm going to get them done, but I'm going to do it after my son's party. That's my plan, at least. And Anyway, so you know, I'm not suffering right this moment. I mean, every day I do have significant uncomfortability, and it varies as to when it happens. So, for example, yesterday, it started in the evening, and I was sitting at the banquet for my son's choir, and it was a 3-hour banquet, and my abdomen was just, it was significantly hurting. But I've been through that a lot, so in various ways. I've had so many different types of pain that I just got it out. As for everything else, work is work. They need me. I've been trying to do as much as I can. I will admit this week, feeling like, hey, I don't know what the point is anymore. Either I've got them ready to deal with me not being there or not. It's a difficult thing. If you've watched my other videos, which I think is the only reason why you would be watching this one, you know that I have a terminal condition called terminal onset diabetes insipidus with candidiasis major that is not documented anywhere. And the reason for that is because it's a iatrogenic condition, which means it's caused by treatment. And the treatment experiments were from, kind of pre-World War II type timeline when they didn't really follow current ethical guidelines. So as a result, with all the ethical, all the emphasis on the ethical practice of medicine that has happened over the last 20 to 30 years, uh, uh, they had to make the diagnosis go away in order to make the experiments go away. So think about that. So if the diagnosis exists, if it's in a book somewhere, and they could see it, then they have to know, well, how did that diagnosis, like, where did that come from? It's iatrogenic. So what treatment caused that? Well, that treatment was unethical experiments. So basically, they had to make the diagnosis go away, which they did. And even in the article I read, it said, hey, this is going to be reclassified into, what is it? Polyendocrine autoimmune, and which is not, but it kind of resembles, and it gets it out of a category by itself so that then they don't have to worry about, well, how do you get to that category? It's very, very kind of sneaky way to go about things, and it takes years to happen, but they did it. And so here I am without anybody in the world, I mean, basically, or anybody at least that's, accessible, that's ever heard of my condition, that even believes in my condition, that even understands that the science of my condition is possible, because it's extreme, it's weird, it's bizarre, it doesn't conform to anything. And I think that in and of itself is enough to keep it around. Like, why not keep it around? But I understand there are the implications that I've mentioned before too. So anyway, that's, kind of the whole thing. I am so proud of my son, and I want my family to know that I know my time is short. And, I have been able to do so much this spring. And yeah, I had days when it was not it was not enjoyable. Uh, I've had a lot of memories though. I've got to do so much and have so many meals and share so many times that very worth it. Uh, I am most upset, I guess, that it's just going to be so abrupt. But you know, nobody realizes how close it is right now. And I think that's a blessing. I think they can focus on their lives and not have to worry about me. And I think that I am, you know, I don't know, a week or two from the end. And I really don't see how it turns out otherwise. So uh I'm just going to do the best I can. And if I'm wrong, hey, great, I get to see, however many more days. But if I'm right, I'm ready for it. And, I'm sad about some things. I had some salon and I could have bought some more. It went down so low, like $10 or less, and it's 170 today. That's a regret. It's you put in a couple $1,000s at 10. And when it does a 17x, you're putting in a pool. Anyway, my baby wants a pool. I don't know. But anyway, Bitcoin's doing well. I think we're at $67,000-ish today. And I fully expect it to go to, a couple $100,000 over the next several years. And yeah, it's going to be a volatile ride. And yeah, I see the greatest risk to it as quantum computing. But it is what it is, and I've bet heavily on it. And I know my son has enough insurance to take care of him. If it goes to zero, he's got enough life insurance to help him through college and get him started. And if it goes where I think it's going, then he'll have enough to really get started. And I hope he keeps most of it invested, honestly. And I've tried to diversify. I follow somebody on Twitter called Lynn Alden, easily the best economist of our era, I think. And this is a very specific era of watching the end of the petrodollar and the end of kind of the current financial status quo, and things are going to change. Things are going to be shaken up over the next 5 or 10 years. It's going to be quite dramatic. There's going to be a lot of people hurt. There's going to be, just huge changes. Might be dramatic inflation, might be civil wars in countries, might be riots, might be, just austerity movements. I don't know, but austerity is not going to fix the problem. So they're going to have to basically just inflate it away. And so that's why Bitcoin's around, to give you. And so I own gold, I own Bitcoin, I own energy, I own minerals. Bought some utilities this week because, hey, how utilities get paid is pretty cool. They just get basically 1% of their capex as a guaranteed income. And so if they're required to build a whole lot of new stuff, they make more money because they have to spend a lot of money and they're guaranteed a return on that money. So they make a lot of money. And there's going to be a huge power demand for all the AI stuff. Crypto is not a small part of the power demand. I mean, it's significant, and it will definitely fill up all the kind of stranded power islands. Yeah, I stick to those themes. Obviously, there's going to be companies in the AI space and the technology spaces that do well, and I own some of that stuff. But I think these other places are the big places. Copper's at an all-time high right now. So things like that. Anyway, I gotta go. I don't know. I kind of feel like doing daily updates right now. I think that's how significant things are, but you don't really need a daily update. You're getting a daily update as it is. These just come out a week apart in my real life. So I don't know. I do think that this week and next week are going to be quite critical. I'm just hoping to keep the focus off of me and to give my family more normal days. My wife is probably the one person who doesn't feel like things are normal, but I know that they're a lot more normal than they might be if she was worried about how I was feeling or, things like that. So I asked her, recently, I'm doing well, right? And she said, yeah, I'm just, thanking my lucky stars or something to that effect and not questioning it. And I think that's the perfect thing for my situation. I think, there's nothing for her to do but, lead her normal life. And that's what I want everybody doing. And I've tried to prepare the people that need to be prepared and to prepare, my things. And that's all I can do. Anyway, Jim Craddock, hey, tell people my story. It's bizarre. It's unreal, but you know, they've gone out there and they have redacted science, and I don't think that that's something that should be done. I question the whole AI thing moving forward. If AI is going to be like this compendium of knowledge for everyone, where hey, if you can't get it from an AI engine, you know, I mean, man, that starts to get kind of 1984-ish, right? I've actually started reading that this week just because it was something I always wanted to do. And I'm just kind of, at first it was a slog, but I think I'm 80 pages in right now. And, you know, I, I don't know what life is going to be like if all the information is controlled by an AI. I mean, science should be free. You should be able to ask any question about science, and if the answer is there, get the answer. Uh, and that's already not true, is what I'm telling you. So, how bad is it going to get? That's scary, right? I don't know. Anyway, there's cool things about science and technology too, but that one is concerning. All right, Jim Craig signing off. Hey, I love my family. Will, Kelly, Mom, Adeline, Owen, Bob, Barb, Melanie, uh, everybody. Thank you for being you, and thank you for your love. And know that I'm so happy uh, and blessed to have known all of you, and that right this moment, as close as the end is, I'm not suffering.